Hello my friends, Paul here in the RoJoBe Music Workshop, and welcome back to the classical guitar conversion to steel strung acoustic guitar project. In the last episode, part 10 I think it was, I'd painted the guitar, and I showed the logo that I put on the top of the headstock, saved as, and it was then ready for lacquer, which I did after making that video, and that was almost 2 weeks ago now. So I've actually left it for a full 2 weeks, well, 13 days, just to make sure that this lacquer is fully hardened before final assembly, which is what this episode is. Part 11 is final assembly, and time permitting, I'll be making a start on the string action as well, but I'm not sure if I'll get to that in this video. That will probably be the next video, and possibly 2 videos depending on how much work I need to do. So although the lacquer has had basically 2 weeks to harden, it might still be a bit soft in places. So to do this final build, I'm going to use these soft cotton gloves, which I bought new, really cheap. You know, I'll use them once and throw them away. I've got like a dozen pairs. So I'm going to put these on to actually do the work on this guitar, just in case there's any, you know, if the lacquer is a bit soft in places. You know, I'm not going to leave any finger marks on it or anything like that. Little bit awkward working with these, and I look like a magician, but it will, you know, protect the guitar. So actually, let me just show you the guitar fully lacquered. Okay, so there it is. Now again, I don't think you can really appreciate the colour through the camera, but you know, God, it does look good. So you know, I've only got the brown on the top of the guitar there. I'm not even sure if you can see it. It is quite subtle. It's very dark, but I wanted it to be, you know, I wanted it to be like that, you know, so that it's not too much of a contrast. Got the rosette on there. So the whole thing has had, I think, 7 or 8 coats of lacquer over like a whole day, making sure that it was, you know, thoroughly dry between coats. Sorry, excuse me. And like I said, I've left it 2 weeks to make sure that the lacquer is hardened, and it's really turned out nice. I'm really pleased with it. He says, knocking it into the microphone. Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect. It was never going to be. But I'm really happy with how it's turned out. It does look really good, and it's got a nice gloss sheen to it. I personally don't like gloss. I prefer a satin or even a matte finish. But you know, this tends to be the way that guitars are done, with a gloss finish for the most part. Right, so it is time to start putting this thing together. So let me just turn the camera around and down. I'm having a couple of issues with this lens. It seems to get bad light reflection, and I had, for the last few videos, changed to my other lens. I've got another lens here. But that one seems to have a bit of a fisheye problem. It's kind of around the edges of the picture. It's kind of blurred. So that one's even worse. So I've gone back to this lens. It is the better one. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is fit the tuners. So these are the tuners I have for this. Chrome ones, which will obviously, you know, offset the black rather nicely. Right, so let me start with one side. So that's going to be these, that one, and not that one. Where's the other one? That one? Yeah. Okay. Right, so I'm going to start one side. Hopefully these will go in. I haven't even checked. Oh no, there's, yeah, because of the paint and the lacquer, not going to go in very well. Can I? Yeah, I don't want to force that really. I'm just going to turn that over and just ream the holes out a little bit. Is that tapered? Not really. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to ream these holes out a little bit so that the tuners will go in a bit easier. Don't want to risk breaking anything at this stage. Just take a little bit off, just taking the basically the layer of paint off inside the hole. It should be enough. Don't want to take out too much because it'll make them loose. But yeah, I hadn't even checked this, and it was something I'd thought about before, but it's kind of slipped my mind. Oh dear. And now I've got sawdust all over these clean white gloves. That's not what I want. Wasn't expecting to have to do this. Right, let me just test fit those now. Yeah, that's better. Okay. I want them to be a reasonably tight fit, but not too tight. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Okay, let's turn that back over and put the nuts on. 1, 2, 3, plus the washers. 1, 2. It's quite hard working with these gloves on, but I think it's necessary. Okay. Definitely don't want to mark the fresh paint and lacquer or scratch it. The amount of hours I put into this thing, that would be a bit of a disaster. I would not be happy. So 10mm spanner, that's there. I'm not going to do them up tight just yet, just nip them up because I've got to line them up at the back. I just want them to just snug down. Okay, that's enough. This could well be a whole video just putting the tuners in. I hope not. Okay, that's those in, so I'll do the other side. That looks really nice. I'm going to have to ream that out a little bit more, that one. Come on. Yes, it's still a bit tight, that one. Just ream that out a little bit more. Do the others while I'm here. Okay, let's try that now. Yeah, still pretty tight, but yeah, that's fine. That's good. Okay, 3 more nuts and washers. Can't pick it up. There we go, get it with a magnet. Oops, wrong one. So, you know, this project has been a long project, been several months. But, you know, if I'd been working on it solidly, it would have probably been about 2 weeks or so. You know, I've had a lot of other work to do, and obviously it's the drying time for glue, for paint, for lacquer, you know, it all makes the job take a bit longer. But I wanted to take my time more with this project because I want it to turn out really, really good. And so far, I shouldn't say anything, so far I'm pretty happy with it. You know, I've had some issues with well, first of all with alignment with the neck, but that wasn't too hard to sort out. I had issues with the paint running, which I managed to sort out. And you know, I was extra careful putting the lacquer on, so I didn't put it on too thick and get runs with the lacquer as well, because that's a lot harder to put right than the paint, which is acrylic. Right, so those are all in. I now need to turn it over and line them up so that they're kind of straight. And I'm not gonna take any particular measurements because this headstock is a weird shape with this contour here both sides. So I'm literally going to eyeball it. Who was it? What someone said once? If it looks straight, it is straight. I'm pretty happy with that, and I can still just about see the original holes that I drilled there, and they all seem to be lining up with those just right. So which screws am I going to use? I've got two types of screws. Well, they're the same type, but one is longer than the other. I think these short ones will be okay, so I'm going to use those. Because these ones are really long. I don't want to use those, so I'm going to use these short ones. They should be fine if I can get the little baggie open. Right, to tip a few of those out, I only need 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's start to get those screwed in. Now, like I said, I had pre-drilled these holes, but obviously they filled with paint and lacquer as well, so they might be a little tight, but that's better than loose. If I can find the right screwdriver for these. That's not the one. Let's try that one. That seems better. Yeah, I mean, you don't want them ultra tight, but tight is better than loose, obviously. And like I said, I pre-drilled the holes, although they filled with paint a bit. I could still see the dimples of where they were, and they've all lined up nicely. The screws are going in pretty tight, which is what I want, because I don't want them to come loose again, but not so tight that, you know, I'm risking damaging anything. That's not really a good screwdriver. Let me just try and find another one. I don't think that's going to be any better, but I'll try it. It might be. Yeah, I think that one's good. Okay, that's 3. Just make sure that's down all the way. That wasn't quite. Okay, 3 down, 3 to go. I mean, you know, there's not much assembly on an acoustic guitar. It's the, oops, careful, the tuners, the strings. The nut is already in place on this, so the saddle, the electrics, you know, just the pickup, the jack and the preamp, and strap buttons. That's pretty much it really. I've got everything here prepared. I've got it all set up before I started recording. There's nothing worse than watching someone flap about trying to find something. So I made sure I had everything around me before I started. And these screws, these are the shorter ones, they're definitely the best choice. I would have struggled to get the longer ones in, even though I did drill the holes deep enough for those. Those are absolutely perfect. So that's what it looks like from the back and the front. I know it's upside down, but get the idea. So now I can nip these nuts up a bit tighter. Always be careful when you tighten these because it's easy to break them because they're hollow and they're not, you know, strong steel or anything. So you just nip them up. Certainly don't crank down on them. Alright, so I'll just give them all a little bit of a tweak. That is more than enough. They don't need to be super tight. Right, so I'll just make sure that they're all turning nicely. They're good, they're good, and they're good. Okay. Right. Next thing I need to do is put the put the adjuster nut back in for the end of the truss rod, which I have here. So I'd taken it off and plugged up the hole with tissue while I was painting it so that I could make sure I got paint right down inside there. I mean, obviously you don't see it with the truss rod cover on, but when you take it off you don't want to see bare wood really. So let me just put it in place with a pair of pliers there just to get it into the slot. And I've got an extra long Allen key here so that when I turn it, it's not, you know, knocking on the tuners or scratching the headstock, worse still. So in it goes. That feels like it's cross-threaded, so let me just pull it back out. Yeah, that's good. Okay, in it goes. It's going to go in quite a long way. It's quite a long thread on the end of that truss rod. But I'm not going to tighten it. I'm just going to do it up until I feel the resistance, which is about there, and that's done. And that is ended up really nicely flush with the end of here, so that's perfect. Right, so strap buttons, yeah, why not? Well, actually I'm just going to put one strap button in the bottom because I'm not sure where I'm going to put the top one yet. So you can see with the heel on this neck is a wide one. Now there are three places where I can put the strap button on here. It can either go on the side of the heel, which is most common, or it can go on the top of the heel here, or on the back of the heel. So side, top, or back. And I haven't decided where I'm going to put it yet. Perhaps you could leave a suggestion in the comments. What do you think? Side, top, or back? What do you think? Let me know. So I'm just going to put the one strap button in the bottom for now, and I've decided to go with black ones to match the body. I did have some chrome ones set aside, but I just didn't think they looked quite right, so I'm going with black ones. So there's three pieces there, and I think, let's see if that screwdriver was right. Yeah, that looks right. And again, I've got the hole pre-drilled, ready to accept that. So I'm kind of working the wrong way round for me, really, but the way that you can see what I'm doing. And how are we doing for time? Oh my goodness, really? Yep. So let's get that in first. I mean, the reason I'm putting this in now is because I'm going to be moving this guitar around a lot and standing it up and lying it down, and you know, if I stand it up on its end and I've got the strap button in there, that's going to kind of protect the guitar itself. I really don't want to slip with this screwdriver now. It's quite a long screw, but it's quite a thick heel block on this. Let's try a different screwdriver. It's not really working. No, that's not going to do it. This one. Actually, let me go for my big one. Yeah, that'll do it better. That's it. Yeah, as I said, this strap button will protect the guitar when I'm, you know, moving it around if it gets knocked a little bit or whatever. I'd rather that got damaged than the actual guitar or the finish. It's almost there. The washer's slipping out. That's not good. Let's just loosen that off a bit. There we go. Right, nip that up. Not too tight. That's good. I'm happy with that. Just nip it up a little bit more. Okay. Right, so I'm going to call it there before I get carried away and run out of time. So the next part will be fitting some of the electrics, i.e. the pickup, because I'm then going to fit the strings and obviously the saddle, and I'll need the pickup under the saddle so that I can adjust the height of the saddle. So it's no good doing that without the pickup in there, because once I put that in, it's going to raise it up about 3 or 4 millimeters. So I'll be putting the pickup in to the saddle slot, and I won't put the rest of the electronics in yet. I'll get the strings on, and then it will be starting to work on the string height, the action, and then after that will be intonation. Not looking forward to that, because I think it's going to be out a little bit. If it's out a lot, there's not going to be much I can do, but if it's just a tiny bit, I can tweak the angle on the saddle for each string. But that will be in the next episode, which will be coming soon. So in the meantime, please look after yourselves, look after each other. We will see you soon. Peace out.